The woman arrived at the cemetery. To remember my daughter, a girl stood near her daughter's grave. She asked the girl, "Did you know Katya? She is my mom, and you, as I understand, are my grandmother," the girl said confidently. "Aren't you mistaken? I have 3 grandchildren and 2 granddaughters at home, but I don't know you." Nadezhda looked at the girl and tried to catch something from her daughter. The eyes, precisely the eyes and fluffy eyelashes, and the look reminded her of her daughter Katinka, but she asked anyway. "Who did you come here with?" Dad showed the grave, and he himself went to negotiate about the monument. "A year has already passed, and we need to take care. You and your grandfather don't have money, but he wants it expensive. If you want to know more, he will be back soon. My name is Vika, and I'm 12 years old." The girl smiled at Nadezhda. Soon a man of about 40 appeared. "So we met, Nadezhda Pavlovna, and I was going to visit you. My daughter and I lived abroad for some time, and recently returned, and suddenly this happened. Katinka left us and is now in heaven. I'm Kirill. This is some kind of misunderstanding. I don't know you, and Katya didn't tell me anything." Nadezhda felt unwell, and she sat down on the bench. "I'll call the driver now. He'll come and pick Vika up." Kirill took out his phone from his pocket. When the girl was taken away, Kirill began his story. "We met Katya at the clinic. I came there about surrogacy. My wife categorically refused to participate in this and left for Spain, to our country house. I sat in the corridor and waited to be invited. Katinka ran out of the office. I later found out her name. Her face was tear-stained. I wanted to figure it out and invited me into my car. There she said that her family was in dire need of money. I wanted to make money, but I wasn't suitable as a surrogate mother, and no one was going to break the rules. We really had problems back then. The roof was leaking. The shed was lopsided. My husband Ivan, with a prosthesis, could not cope with such repairs. You understand that when it rained, they put basins in the house, but we didn't have the means to hire repairmen. Katya, after graduating from school, went to Moscow, saying that she would definitely earn money." Nadezhda began to cry, and Kirill handed her a handkerchief. "I will continue. In the car, I offered her to help me, and I would pay everything that was due, and I would even add on those services that I could have left at the clinic. She agreed and we went to my place. She and I lived together and shared a bed. She became pregnant and carried the child. Vika was born. I was married, so Katya no longer wanted to stay in my house. During this time my wife never arrived. Vika was born. When I said goodbye, I paid Katya the full amount, as promised." Kirill sighed. It is clear that the story upset him. "Yes. My daughter brought a large sum then. I thought the bank was robbed with some group, but she reassured me by saying that she had earned it, and why she didn't come for a long time. She explained that she wasn't allowed to leave work, but without details. Now you understand the reason. And I couldn't visit her. She didn't order and didn't want to get used to Vika." Kirill stood up and walked a little along the path. When he returned, he asked, "How did Katinka live all these years? It's like they replaced her. I cried at night. Then suddenly she told me that she was pregnant. Just from whom? She didn't admit, and thus she gave birth to 4. She didn't pay attention to my request not to behave like that. She explained that in this way she wanted to numb the long-standing pain, but it did not work. The 5th pregnancy is unsuccessful. She died on the maternity table, but the baby is alive, and my husband and I are raising him along with the others. We save our daughter's money. Enough for now." "Yes. And we receive child benefits. I don't work, and my husband has a pension." Nadezhda cried again. Kirill drove Nadezhda to the house. They entered the gate. The children were playing in the yard. They are of different ages. Only the smallest one slept in a stroller near the bench on which Ivan was sitting. He watched the children and those who were in the sandbox. Ivan came up and said hello. "Nadia, perhaps, brought guests to us? So set the table. People are from afar. They need to rest." From that day on, Kirill took care of this family. He hired builders and they built the house, and these are 2 floors and with all the amenities. Ivan was given a car with manual control. He often brought gifts and sweets to Katerina's children, and he provided him with food, which his driver from Moscow brought once a week. Katerina's children are the brothers and sisters of his daughter Vika. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this story. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel to be the first to hear about our next story.